Welcome to assignment 2. We are group Lalwani and we are here to demonstrate the app. This assignment 2 is the extension of assignment 1, and instead of using a single graph like in the last assignment, we have three graphs, and we are using the accelerometer data to do that. And let me demonstrate you how this app works. This is the demo. Patient ID, age, the name, hit run. Try to move the sensor a bit and see if the values are changing. X works, Y works, Z works. So all these three graphs are working. We'll hit stop and then hit the upload. So as we see now, the last 10 seconds are being displayed. Because we were moving the z-axis in the last 10 seconds, that's why we can only see the z-axis data right now, but everything works just fine. And let's try. We stop hit and the graph resets itself. Multiple runs and the graph is still working. Multiple stops, graph is still working, and we have our data uploaded well. Download works fine, everything is good. So this is the demo of the video.
Nikhillesh Sadassivam, and I worked on the part A of the mobile computing second assignment, where we collect the accelerometer data. And my part of the code is the following. So here we see that we have uh, declared the accelerometer sensor manager and the sensor, and three arrays to store the x, y, and z accelerometer values. And while um the application starts, we initialize the sensor manager and the sensor, and the even for the start and the stop functions, or during the start function we register the listener, and during the stop function we unregister the listener. And so when the listener is registered, this on sensor changed function starts to work. And here we check the sensor type, and if it's the accelerometer sensor that it's sensed, then we start to store the values in the separate arrays for the x, y, and z values. And suppose if the values goes greater than the accelerometer than the array value, then we do an offset. And once and each time the values are added, we call the handler function, which actually adds the data to the graph series. And here we create three graph series for x, y, z, and for each instance we append the data to the graph series and try to display it to the graph.
Hi, this is Ganesh. I worked on part A of assignment 2. Uh, I worked on creation of upload from DB button and download from DB button as part of GUI, and also creation of a graph view. A graph view for y-axis xyz graphs. um, the the corresponding code is over here from line 134. It creates x and y axes for three graphs and sets the labels, and then just displays the graph on displays the values on the graph. I also worked on the part C, where we display the graph information from the database. So the code is in a load patient function, and here is the code where from line 265, where the patient data is gotten in current patient, and the information is displayed on three graphs.
Hi, my name is Adham Salem. I worked on part B of the assignment too. I created a class which is called patient that takes care of the connection with the database. So in the instructor, we can see here like I'm starting a database file, and then I have two other APIs, one to add the samples, and this one creates the table if it exists, and then insert all the data that is passed to the function into the database and executes the transaction. And the last API that I implemented is the load patient data, which selects all the data from the table name, um, and this table name is um, formed in the constructor used by the name, ID, age, and the sex. The other part I worked on was the server connection, which is the upload part. So this part creates a connection with the HTTP server and opens a write stream, and at the end it checks for the server response code and then closes the connection and returns the file. Last thing is that when the download is done from the HTTP server, the load patient API is called, which creates a new patient, and it's passed the directory path, and then by calling the load patient data, it returns an array of samples, which is being used after that to be displayed.
Hi, my name is Lalwani. I worked on part C, where I worked on downloading the file on the storage of the SD card from the server, and the second part was to set up a connection with the server. All right, so my piece of code has basically two parts. First part is when you click the download button here, it calls an on-click listener, and it checks if we have the permissions to write on the storage. And once it's done, it calls do upload, and let's see what this do upload does. So it takes a URL from the server and sends a request to the network to do the download. And once the download is completed, it's gonna show the visibility notification when download is completed. As we saw already in the demo, that when the file was downloaded, we see on the notification bar the download complete notification. And let's take a moment to see what things we have covered in this assignment. So all these things we have seen in the demo already. Let's pick one by one and see if we were able to solve this completely. So app running without being unresponsiveness in the given environment and used it right, this app is gonna be fluent and very smooth to run. We saw already we were able to fill the patient data details and successfully uploading the file, creating the database as we already saw in the demo video again. And and the other thing is the app being unresponsive. We already talked about the app is smooth. We were able to see three graphs. We were able to fill patient data again, running multiple hits and runs. We already talked about in the demo video, and the graph layout but no data. We are already seen that on resetting, it's setting it to back to zero. On downloading, we are seeing the actual data, and on hitting run or either download, we always see the data in the right place. And we have seen the access, we have seen the upload and download of the database already in the demo video. There is no creation of ROM DB. There is one DB file, and every time a patient data is being added, it adds in a new table. And there is no wrong folder creation. Everything is kept in structured download folders and the temporary data of Android data. So we have covered all the things, and thank you.